Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode. Tonight we will be exploring a phenomenon in which messes with people's minds. Is it an event that is actually occurring, or is it a case of not remembering it right? Find out more coming up next. If you're not familiar with the Mandela Effect, or you've heard it before but not familiar with what exactly it means, let me take a few minutes to introduce you to the concept. As the name implies, the Mandela Effect revolves around Mandela, but in particularly when he died. There are those that say that they swear they remember seeing Mandela die in prison in the 1980s, while the rest of us remember his death much more recently. That date being December 5th, 2013. While some may say, well, that's just one event that people may be misremembering, there are actually quite a few examples of this different perception of reality. Let's go ahead and discuss some of those examples, and believe me, this will be pretty entertaining as well as intriguing. Now, some of these actually caught me off guard when I started doing research, so I was quite taken back by some of these examples myself. But let's go ahead and discuss some of the examples of the Mandela Effect. So I wanted to start with the one that really got my head scratching, that really got my attention with the Mandela Effect when I started researching this a while ago, because this one really surprised me and really want me to find out more information about this. But let's begin. So there are a family of bears that are very popular with children, and if you know where I'm going with this, you know what I'm talking about. So here we have this bear family, and for some people, they remember this bear family as the Bernstein Bears. When you look at a book, if you were to pick one up today, it says Bernstein. Bernstein Bears is what they're called. And while that is what is the reality of things, and here I am holding a book with my own hands that does say Bernstein, there are some of us, and quite honestly, I'll include myself in that we remember it as Bernstein. It just seems like it rolls off the tongue. Maybe we're just misremembering it, and perhaps that's the case. But quite interestingly, there are other examples of perhaps this mass misremembering. Let's go ahead and check out those examples. Okay, so here's another example of the Mandela Effect. So If you guys have played Monopoly, you know there's a dude on there. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out Mr. Moneybags, I believe is his name. Now, some of you, as you see this picture, you might be asking yourself, there's something off about this picture. And quite honestly, you aren't alone. Because some people will remember that this character has a monocle. And maybe, again, this is another misremembering scenario. But there's quite a few other scenarios to throw in there as well. Alright, so let's talk about something else. Here's Pikachu. Now, a really small detail with Pikachu that some may or may not notice is his tail. Some may say that his tail looks off. Well, that's because some people remember it with a black tip. And speaking of tails, another example is Curious George. Now, does he have a tail or not? There's another debate to throw in at your next dinner party. And there's all sorts of different examples on the slight, subtle, almost easily missed examples of the Mandela Effect taking place. Now let's go ahead and see some more examples real quick on the Mandela Effect. If you were to run with this notion that this phenomenon does indeed exist and is indeed occurring, the question now lies as to why. Everything that has been seen so far are little changes here and there, and really doesn't make that much of a difference. After all, how life-changing is it if Tony the Tiger's nose is black or blue, or if it's Bernstein versus Bernstein? Does it make that much of a difference in the world? If those changes are occurring and it's all trivial, then really it's not in the bigger picture. Or is it? Or is what people are concerned about is if these changes are occurring, is there something more sinister occurring? Are all these subtle changes just tests to see if something can be changed? And if these changes can be noticed, and if people are brushing it off, then whoever is making these changes, if it is happening, can they pull off something bigger? Can they pull off something bigger without anyone noticing? Maybe that's what people are concerned about. Or maybe it's the idea that they have a really good memory. They can recall back on these little details in life, and for something to not line up, and for something to be off, whether it's their favorite snack or favorite show or little details, and they could remember back and they could have confirmation from other people of that said memory, then it messes with their mind and makes them think that they're crazy, or in fact that maybe that their memory isn't as well as they thought before. But to that effect, why would anyone gain anything if they're trying to make people think that they're crazy or that their memory isn't as great? These are great questions to ponder. And it certainly makes you wonder if this is truly something that is happening. And if it is, it certainly falls under the unusual. And undoubtedly, at least for right now, falls under the unknown. Everyone, I want to thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you do, please hit the like button. And to catch future episodes, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell notification for future episodes. Everyone, I hope that you take care. And until next time, stay intrigued.